Hey everybody, it is Carrie Roldan with the Intuitive Art Academy, and I'm not sure if you can hear them, but I feel like I should announce that my dogs are barking in the background, and I am here with the amazing Rozlyn Warren, who is at the very end of her certification process to become a certified intuitive artist. And we are having really fun conversations, if you've been watching these videos, with people who are either certified or in the process of being certified. And so, Rozlyn, hi, welcome.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Let's start with we've talked with someone in Boston, someone in France. Where in the world are you?
I'm in the very northeast corner of Florida, so I can actually, if I had the Superman eyes, I could see the ocean from my front door. But it's a little too far to see the ocean, but I can see the marsh. So yeah, just down from Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you, in the people I've spoken to, not everybody remembers how they found intuitive art or intuitive art found them. Do you remember how intuitive art found you?
I have really kind of a funny story. It was probably back when Rachel first got started, and I ran across it, but I wasn't ready for it. Because I was looking for art, and I looked at her things, and I went, those are weird. That's not what I'm looking for. And I moved right on into who knows what else. And so as I'm now with the work I do, I'm incorporating art even more. And somewhere, some search, actually just the universe went, you're ready now. And it came up on a website somewhere. And then I chased it down and was very excited. And then I'm like, well, and then I do my thing I do, which is, why didn't you do this before? And then I do my coaching thing for myself and said, well, you weren't ready.
So you at the time. And you mentioned the work that you do. So what is the work that you do?
Which is so fun because it's like, do we have an hour? No. Easy terms, I'm a spiritual life coach, but I work to bring people into consciousness, living consciously, because we've spent so many years, most of our lives, being conditioned to live unconsciously. And now when it's your turn to no longer live unconsciously, it's helpful to have a guide who's been there, and that would be me. So, yeah.
How does someone know? I love spiritual life coach. I know lots of people who would be like, oh yeah, I need me one of those. And I'm wondering, when does someone know that they're ready for you? Just like when you knew you were ready for intuitive art. When does someone know that they're
right? You find me. I just come within your radar and you go, oh, that's interesting. Because if you're not ready for me and you see me, you will go, that lady's weird. And then you move on. And then if you're one of my crew, you're going to come back eventually. But it's when people are, I say that I teach practical spirituality because I was working with a bunch of people. We were actually doing Periscope back in the day when Periscope was alive. And they were like, I can't go to the mall. It takes me 4 days to get over going to the mall. And I'm like, what good does it do to be intuitive if you can't go to the mall? There's a disconnect here. Your spiritual life should not debilitate your being a human, and vice versa, if you will. So that's what kind of got the ball rolling, because you need to know what to do with your energy. Number one, you need to know you're intuitive, and that's why you're picking up people's stuff. And then you need to know how to package it up and send it back. Very easy to do. You just got to know how. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm loving this. I'm loving this because you're actually speaking to who I was like maybe 10 years ago, right? Before I recognized, I was like, for me, it was going to business events.
Yes. knocked you out for a week.
I didn't understand why. I took my car to drive home and just cry and like, so, oh, I got you now. I get you. I know exactly who your person is. So, tell me, after Intuitive Art found you, and it sounds like it easily could meld with the work that you do. But how are you using Intuitive Art in your life and business now?
As an additional connection to source, I have a practice that I downloaded. I call it Dance, although we do not physically dance. It's an acronym. Whatever. Why do I do acronyms to myself? But it's Daring Awareness Nurtures Creativity and Expansion, and it's a journaling process. And once you're clear, now you're ready for the download or the information from source. And a perfect way to receive it is through Intuitive Art.
Love it.
You gotta get clear first so you can get that stinking question.
Yes. But when you have your question, oh boy, does Intuitive Art have clarity.
Yes, absolutely. And then I have fun because I do have private clients. And the best example so far has been, and I don't think she'll mind if I'm not going to tell her name, but I think I share the work because she was like, whoa. She's moving. The house has sold. They are moving. Do they stay in the same state or they move across country? And there's pros and cons, of course, to both. So we did 2 arts, before and after. What does life look like if I move there? What does life look like if I move here? And both of them came out that you're going to be fine. Everybody's happy. There's flowing, even staying in the state she's in. There's flow, there's abundance, there's beauty. The difference was if she moved across country, the drawing was there's 4 of them, husband, wife, and 2 kids. They were pine trees. And there were these big, including her husband. Blue for me is Serene. He's this massive blue pine tree. And she's red, which is alive. And the kids were blue. And it's just, gorgeous. I have goosebumps everywhere. If they stay in the same state, again, nothing's wrong. They're happy. Everything's cool. But they were shrubs. They were little tiny shrubs. Now, they were all blue and calm shrubs. But the message we got because of Intuitive Art was you can choose either one. But if you want to grow and expand and be everything you're being called to be, get thyself east. Could not have pulled that out in a visual way that she can take to her husband and say, you want to be a shrub or you want to be a tree? It just settles it.
Yeah.
And I think it's also because it is so, you've got all the dimensions. You got your visual and you've got your hearing and, it's not just me. Well, this woman told me that if we moved to the east, we would be happier.
Yeah.
No, Spirit told you. And here's the proof. So, yeah. So that's what I'm loving it for. Those questions that we have an answer for, but there's so many, we still throw up so many what ifs. Oh my word. And then you got to add the mother-in-laws into the factor, So it's just so awesome for guidance and working with clients with guidance. And even if you don't use the art for the client themselves, you can prepare yourself for working with the client by Rachel gave me this tip, what do they need the most from me today? How can I show up to be of service today? And then you go into your sessions even more open and more as a conduit for change than going in, how we do sometimes we'll already be listening because we know what we want to say.
I do know that.
I don't know who does. Those other people do that. We don't do that. No.
Not at all, actually. Yes, so true. So true. It's beautiful for preparing you for a session. But I love the two drawings that you do. That is like my signature move because I get paralyzed by decisions and
Mhm.
asking, what does my life look like if A, what if my life looked like if B? And I'll tell you, I'm sitting here in this room, in this office because of a drawing.
Yep.
Because I did the same thing. I looked at my life and the same exact thing. One was staying was for mine, it was do I stay in my current house or do I move house? And staying in my current house would have kept me happy and small.
Mhm.
And moving here was bigger and more abundant and more alive and more all of it. And so here we are. But if it wasn't for that tangible thing, not
Mhm.
something I had in my body, not something someone told me, but that tangible thing
Yes.
where I could see it and point to it and go, this is that. This is what that means. I
Yes.
don't know if I would have moved.
I know. But isn't it fun? Isn't it fun how those of us on a spiritual path that it gets to the place where our decisions are between two greats?
Yes.
We're not choosing between horror and maybe. We're choosing between two. It doesn't matter where you are, you're going to be abundant and happy. Doesn't matter. You're cared for and you're taken care of.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to grow?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Oh, I could just hang out in your energy forever.
Thank you. I love yours too.
But I so appreciate you spending this time.
You're welcome.
You as a certified intuitive artist. I love the way that you're incorporating it into just preparing for your work and the actual work that you do with clients. And yeah, just thanks for spending time.
Well, one last thing, if I can,
Yes.
for anyone who's thinking about this, and if you're like me, you've got a lot of certifications under your belt. Just saying, um, this is truly it's the most comprehensive program I've ever taken, and the way it's set up, you can't fall behind unless you just decide not to show up. And the support that is built into it is the best I've seen in any program. In fact, I was thinking about it. I've done 10 certifications.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm experienced like fine wine.
Yeah.
But I've done 10 certifications, and this has been the best course I've done yet. So just saying, if y'all are thinking about it and you're on the fence, do it. Go for it.
Aw, thanks, Roz. I love it. And yes, if that's you and you're watching and listening, we're ready for you when you're ready for us.
Yes.
When we come and find you. Um, okay, well, just thank you so much for spending this time with me, Roz, and watching. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.